Welcome back to Selling on Giants News and Updates. I'm Mr. Will, host of the Selling on Giants podcast. And this week we're stepping away from weekly platform noise to talk about direction. This is our 2026 predictions episode. Not guesses, not hype. This is pattern recognition. It's a blend of what the platforms are already signaling, what reputable industry research continues to reinforce, and what our team sees every day inside live Amazon, Walmart, and multi-channel accounts. The unifying theme for 2026 is simple. Effort stops being rewarded. Outcomes take over. Proof beats polish. Behavior outweighs storytelling. And execution matters more than intent. Everything else flows from that. Let's start with how shopping actually begins now, because this is the root change most brands still underestimate. Search, as sellers historically understood it, is quietly dissolving. People are not browsing, they are delegating. Instead of typing keywords, shoppers describe outcomes. They ask full questions. They set constraints. They let an assistant do the work and expect a confident answer, not a grid of options. That shift completely reframes optimization. Ranking is no longer about matching phrases. It is about resolving intent clearly, quickly, and credibly. If a listing cannot explain who the product is for, what problem it solves, and why it works in plain language, the system struggles to recommend it. This is why optimization in 2026 looks less like keyword density and more like structured clarity. Clean attributes, obvious visuals, language that reads like a helpful human instead of a catalog entry. AI raises the floor, it does not lift the ceiling. The result is that the gap between bad and good listings narrows, but the gap between clear and vague listings widens dramatically. Brands that still rely on implication instead of explanation lose visibility without ever being told why. From there, visibility itself starts behaving differently. Search results stop acting like a fixed shelf and start acting like software. Rankings flex by location, timing, shopper behavior, inventory confidence, and purchase history. Visibility becomes something you earn continuously, not something you lock in with a launch or a review milestone. This is where seller frustration spikes. Many brands are still thinking in snapshots. 2026 reward systems thinking. Merchandising is no longer a one-time setup. It is a living process. Brands that accept that adapt. Brands waiting for stability keep chasing performance swings they cannot explain. Advertising follows the same pattern. Ad performance shifts away from winning creatives and toward winning components. Platforms assemble ads dynamically using price, benefits, imagery, offers, and availability. The skill is no longer designing a hero ad. It is feeding the system better ingredients. Clean data matters more than clever copy. Consistent pricing logic matters more than refresh cycles. Images that show outcomes fast outperform images that try to look premium. Advertising becomes modular. Creative becomes infrastructure. This is also why sponsored ads quietly move from growth lever to maintenance layer. Ads defend share. They stabilize demand. They do not create it at scale anymore. Incremental growth increasingly comes from brand demand, external traffic, and repeat behavior. Brands that rely on ads to manufacture demand hit a ceiling. Brands that generate demand elsewhere get rewarded inside the platform. That transition feels uncomfortable, but it is consistent across Amazon, Walmart, and social commerce. And it ties directly into consumer behavior because 2026 is not a discount-driven year. It is a justification year. Shoppers spend intentionally. Every purchase has to prove its value. Ratings still matter, but return behavior, repeat purchase, and post-purchase engagement matter more. Platforms quietly trust behavior more than storytelling. A polished brand without operational proof gets deprioritized. A simpler brand with strong outcome scales. This is why returns become a growth limiter, not just a margin issue. Expectation mismatch hurts conversion, ranking, and ad efficiency at the same time. Brands that treat return reasons as a core KPI and fix them through clearer visuals, sizing clarity, and variation hygiene gain leverage without increasing its spend. Now zoom out to logistics, because this is where platform power consolidates. Fulfillment stops being a feature and becomes gravity. Multi-channel fulfillment graduates from a nice add-on to core infrastructure. Amazon is no longer selling convenience, it is selling logistics gravity. Deeper ties between fulfillment, forecasting, and advertising signals are already forming. Pricing tightens, international reach expands. The more brands plug into the system, the harder it becomes to leave. At the same time, Walmart plays a different hand. Store-native fulfillment for marketplace sellers changes the math. Routing orders through local stores collapses the distance between shelf and doorstep. Same day and next day, delivery become realistic without owning the entire logistics stack. This mirrors Amazon's regionalization push, but adds something Amazon cannot replicate: a nationwide physical footprint. This is one reason Walmart continues to quietly gain share, especially in a slower economy. Diversification stops being optional. It becomes strategic risk management. Before we go further, quick sidebar, because this is the point where many sellers feel the most friction. If all of this sounds like more systems, more decisions, and more ways to get it wrong, that reaction makes sense. This is the work now. At BellaVix, we've helped brands sell over $500 million on Amazon by turning marketplace complexity into clear operating plans. We are a verified ad partner, but more importantly, we are hands-on. We align strategy, execution, and accountability, so teams stop reacting and start operating with intent. If that is the problem you are trying to solve right now, you'll find us at BellaVix.com. Back to the predictions. Policy enforcement tightens again in 2026, not loudly, but relentlessly. Automation replaces conversation. If documentation is missing or inconsistent, listings go dark fast. The gray areas sellers used to rely on disappear. Compliance becomes table stakes across more categories, not fewer. Being organized becomes more valuable than being clever. At the same time, content creation gets easier, but trust gets harder. AI lowers the barrier to acceptable content. Everyone can produce decent images and copy. Differentiation shifts toward proof. Real images, comparisons, certifications, clear claims, mobile-first layouts, large type, strong contrast. Design also stops being a one-time deliverable. Testing and iteration become part of the creative role. Listings that win are the ones shoppers understand in seconds, not the ones that look best in a presentation. International expansion accelerates in parallel. Cross-border selling becomes mainstream, not aspirational. Brands open global stores to capture incremental demand and hedge platform risk. The winners standardize catalog quality, compliance, and inventory control before expanding. The losers rush expansion and import chaos. Social commerce matures alongside it. People do not go shopping anymore. They buy while watching. Discovery happens inside feeds. Conversion happens in moments. If a product does not have a short video that clearly shows how it works and who it is for, it gets skipped. External traffic becomes less optional and more expected. Platforms reward brands that bring demand, not just capture it. And that brings us to the most important prediction of all. Platforms stop caring what you say about your brand and start caring what customers do with it. Repeat purchase rates, returns, engagement. These signals outweigh brand polish at scale. Branding still matters, but branding without operational proof stops working. So what does this mean heading into 2026? It rewards brands that think like operators, not marketers. Brands that build systems, not hacks. Brands that design for clarity, not cleverness. Brands that understand visibility is earned continuously through execution, not promised through optimization alone. That is the direction, not the hype, not the press releases, the pattern. That's your Selling on Giants news and updates for the week. If this saved you hours of scrolling and internal debate, leave a review wherever you're listening. It helps us keep turning platform noise into something useful. I'm Mr. Will from Selling on Giants. We'll see you next week.